Let me clear my throat. Hey. All right. Damn. Can't believe we live again. Are we live? Are we live again? Hell yeah, we live again. All right. We're here back on a Friday. I know you guys miss me. I miss you too. But this is what we're going to do today. I'm in some weird outfit. Don't mind me. At the last minute, I'm like, damn, what do I put on? I'm like, I have no idea. So this is what it is, and this is what it came out. We have good days and we have bad fashion days. So you're going to have to live with it, with mines. All right, people. I see you coming in. While everybody's coming in for this Friday, beautiful night, we're going to talk about something. We're going to talk about background. You're like, what do you mean by background? We're talking about background checks. Most people know what a background check is. When you go to work for an employer, they do a background check. Here in America, they take your social security number, date of birth, full name. Then they take that information, give it to a third-party company, and they run a background check to see your arrest records, see sometimes your financial records. And even when you go to open a bank account, they run a background check to make sure you're not on what they call check systems, that you didn't commit fraud with previous banks, which will more so than not keep you from being able to open a bank account. A lot of people did this when we was younger. I remember when we was younger, this is what I'm talking about. This is back when I grew up in the 80s or even 90s. 90s probably when I was 12, old enough. We found out this little gimmick that you would take an envelope, take it to the ATM, and the ATM would ask you how much is in the envelope, and you just push like 300, 400, blah, 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 and you deposit it, and then a minute later you go back out and take it out. That was crazy. Well, we didn't know that we would wind up on check systems. That stuff will come back to haunt us. But technology has changed for the better when it comes to that. But when we talk about background checks, let me give you the meaning first. Let me give you the meaning. All right, we got requests already. Give me 1 second. For those who requesting, give me a second. Let me give you the meaning to a background check first and foremost. A background check is a process a person or company uses to check a personal criminal record, education, employment history, and other past activities in order to confirm their validity and make informed decisions. So a background check is not just held to a company, but to a person. And this process is done in order that a person can make an informed decision. So we're here on a marriage and dating counseling show. So what better way to vet your partner than a background check? But unfortunately, 99.99% of us, we don't do these things. We find somebody that we like, that we're attracted to, for whatever reason it may be, and we connect with them. And by only what they show us in person allows us to determine whether we want to be with that person or not. Then lo and behold, many weeks later, sometimes months, sometimes even years, then we find out, wow, I never knew this about that person. How many times, like I watched this show called Fatal Vows. It's more based on like white people marriages, but I also watched like TV One Fatal Attraction, but that's for the lower class individuals that I watched that get murked on there for ghetto reasons, but we're not talking about that. But in this show, Fatal Vows, a lot of times these guys, these white guys would get married to these women, and especially those who were financially well off at one point in time, they would find out later on down the line that the wife that they left in charge of their secretary or financial doings milked them for everything, spent everything. And then the company collapsed. They sold their houses. This happens all the time. Happens all the time. But what entails is this, that they come to find out later when a person is prosecuted that this person had a lot of other things, a lot of charges against them in the past for financial matters concerning fraud. Now, these men or women, in some cases, were to have done a background check. They would have been more informed to make a better decision. Once again, the meaning is validity to make informed decisions. So, is it all about paperwork? No, it's not. Sometimes we can see this with our own eyes. What do you mean I can see the background of a person with my own eyes? It's right in front of you. How many times do we hear people get into relationships? For instance, one man attracted to a girl. She has 3 kids by 3 different baby daddies. But he felt like she was good for him. Only to turn around and find out, just like the previous 3 baby daddies, he became baby daddy number 4 and she moved on to number 5. Because it was a history. That was a background check. But some people call it red flags. Same thing, background check. And everything, there's, how should I say, there's an exception to every rule on earth. But we don't want to move by probability, we don't want to move by possibility, but more by probability. By doing that, we cover our own asses. So, knowing that you meet a chick, you meet someone, 3 baby daddies, 3 failed relationships, work minimum wage job, what does that background show you? The inability to have successful relationships, inability to cooperate with a man, inability to build with another individual. It's the background check right in front of you. And flip side, ladies, a lot of y'all ladies meet men that's just coming out of prison for murder or some heinous act. You know how many people date men who come out of prison for sexual child abuse, but they don't look into it? Then years, months, weeks later, they find out that their child been molested by this stranger of a man that they brought into their house because they felt the connection. But now the child is scarred for life. And mama can't do anything about it. But she could have, but she chose not to because she was lazy about it. Ladies, gentlemen, when are we going to start looking into the background of people that we date? Vet the people that we date. Now, I'm not talking about the lower class. If you're in the lower class community, the ghetto, this and the other, hanging out on corners, the women with tattoos all over their bodies and talk like dudes, every word is a F you, nigga, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying, you know what I mean? They're going to be what they're going to be. They're meant for each other. So we have to also come to grasp with the fact that there's a lot of us that don't deserve good things, nor should they have. There's a lot of us, a lot of people, not of us, but a lot of people who look like us that are just degenerates. They deserve nothing good at all. So why waste my breath and my time talking to them when I could talk to you, the people watching, who are the middle to the upper and elite class that work to deserve something. So that's what I'm talking to. All right. Don't be slow about anything. Keep moving fast. Slow down too fast, slow down too much. It'll seem like to you I'm talking fast. I'm saying that because a lot of my African people be like, oh, you talk fast, whatever. But at the same time, they don't even understand. A lot of times I talk slower than most people. But depends on what I'm talking about anyway. But let's get this started. Don't know why I hear echo. Not coming from her, but from somewhere. All right, do we have anybody on the line or what? All right, I don't want to waste anybody's time, and I don't want you to waste mine. All right, so we're gonna have to drop this person because I have no idea what the hell they're doing. All right. I'm back to trying to figure out this space. All right, so if I have somebody on, you guys tell me what I'm supposed to do. You're the experts, even more than me. All right, that wasn't it. All right, let's get it started. All right, you're gonna have to click off because I have no idea what you're doing. I see nothing but blank space. All right, let me continue because have no question. Blah, blah, blah. Hello, are you alive? Are you alive?
Yeah.
What the hell is this going on? Is this something that's really happening? All right, let's get this off. We got a lot of people, so I'm gonna move on to the next person. All right, let me move on to the next person because this is a waste of our time. All right, all right, next person, next caller. Let's get them in here. I don't like wasting time, ladies and gentlemen. I don't like keeping people waiting, and I damn sure don't like to keep waiting on anybody. Are we doing this again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this Dark Man? Is this Dark Man?
Yeah.
Dark Man. You know, I seen your movie back in the 90s, and I hated it because I walked out the movie theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? Right?
Yeah.
You made that movie
Yeah.
for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Dark Man. Dark Man. You like wasting people's time, Dark Man? Huh? You hear Dark Man on the video right here? Dark Man made a movie back in the 90s. It was so bad, I don't even know how they made a Dark Man 2. But Dark Man came back to haunt me. Because Dark Man used to haunt me back in my dreams. After I seen that movie, it was so damn bad, I had to walk out. And I was only like 8 years old. Imagine being 8 years old and walking out of a movie theater. You know things was bad then. All right, Dark Man.
I can
Dark
imagine
Man.
the visual form of it.
Yeah, let me remove Dark Man. All right. Dark Man is removed. Anyway, I don't know what the hell that was. All right, let's get you and someone else in there. All right, I don't know where she just went. All right. While we wait on them, glad you're here. But let's talk about background checks. Did you get the gist of the show, Miss Susie?
Yeah, I do. I do. And
Thank
then,
you. Thank you.
I don't.
So, yeah, I'm not saying you talk like that. I'm not saying you talk like that at all. I just was going to ask you. So what's your take?
Yeah, that is something very basic that it comes in all different ways in everything. That is why, excuse me, when I don't know how you guys do your things over here in America, but in Africa, that's why when you're going to marry or you're in a relationship, it has to be organized by your dad. They do all the background checks and all that just to make sure you are settling down with the right person. So
Okay, I was going to get into that. Their background checks in Africa is done what? Like, just the member of the family, the father, whatever, is going to the other family and asking about the person.
yeah, yeah, and then
All right. Yeah,
not
families liable to tell you stories that sound better than what they truly are, though.
yeah, it's not just about you. When an African father is looking for
You know,
a
oh,
groom.
oh, oh, there's an echo. You got your door open or something?
Oh, 1 minute.
My goodness.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, but since you did that, you're gonna have to wait. Mistakes do cost. Any and everything that people do in life, there's a consequence for everything. And even when you're on this show, it's gonna be a consequence for everything. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna put you on hold for a second. Let me go here. I don't know what she's doing. Now, let me try to. This person keep calling. I don't know if Dark Man want to come back, and maybe she could tell me who produced the movie so I could go at them. Is this Dark Man again?
Yeah.
Okay, Dark Man. Um, you like spooking people?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Dark Man. You like scaring little kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why you like scaring little kids, Dark Man? Huh? Dark Man.
You're probably sleeping. Remember this? Remember the other day we were listening to the radio. The guy just mistakenly called and he was snoring behind.
I don't know. That's Dark Man though. Dark Man is vicious. Kind of cornballers, but I hated his movie. But I didn't expect Dark Man to call up to me. I mean, like I said, I got over that when I was like 8, 9 years old. By the time Dark Man 2 came out, I was like 10, 11. I got over that. I'm hitting 40 now. So what Dark Man calling me for?
Probably sleeping. It's late over there.
Now, let me get Dark Man back out of here. Because Dark Man, I don't know what Dark Man doing over here. Okay, I got it right here. This is how we do it. All right, Dark Man is gone. All right, so I get how to do it now. This is how we're going to do it. Dark Man is gone. Yeah, Dark Man, man. Like I said, I walked out of that movie at like the age of 8 years old. Me and a couple of friends went to the Yada movie theater that they used to have outside of Philly. It was crazy.
Uh,
I can't believe Dark Man called me after all these years, like 3 decades. Dark Man called me back up. God damn. And Dark Man looked just the same. Can't see a bit of his face. Oh my goodness.
That's why it's called Dark Man.
Oh yeah. Here we go. Our weekend co-host, Jenny. What's up?
okay. Fine. Good evening.
Oh, what you the head of the bonnet crew now? Huh?
Hmm.
What's up with the
One
bonnet?
of those things. Nothing.
Oh, you in the bonnet gang? Gang, gang, gang?
No.
You should know better. African black women always have that before sleeping. You should know that.
I don't know that. I see it. I should say I don't understand it. Let me ask you something.
Okay.
How come y'all sleep with your bonnet, but when it comes to being with your man or whatever, things are done in the bedroom, y'all roll over and go to sleep perfectly. So what's the difference?
Wait, I didn't get your question though.
You don't get it because you ain't married, so you ain't supposed to get it.
Okay. Okay.
All right, let's get back to the subject at hand. Dark man is gone, so now we're going to move on. What do you got on the subject about background checks?
Uh,
Have you ever performed a background check on a man that you dated?
I actually didn't though.
You did it.
I didn't.
Okay. Have you ever performed a background check? Because you certainly didn't do one on me. Because so you would have never been with me a day in your life. See,
I haven't.
talking to Rukaya, but this is an issue though that we're talking about. A lot of people have all these failed relationships, but they never invest time and money or resources or whatever it may be into learning the background of the person that they say they desire to be with. If you was an employer, and you own a company, you own your own company, the both of you, and you wanted your company to run well. You knew you would have to have good qualified people, right, to run that company, right?
Yeah.
One or two things. 100 people apply for the job, but there's only 10 positions. Would you simply just hire the first 10 people no matter what and say, hey, y'all got the job? Or would you validate each candidate in order to see who's best qualified in order that your business be successful?
Validate.
You would do this with your business, so why wouldn't you do it with a relationship? What's more important, the person you're going to be married to or the business you're going to be working for temporarily?
Okay. I feel most cases people just make decisions with their hearts. They don't decide on doing background checks immediately. They feel okay for the fact they've already fallen for the person. They believe in change.
You done babbled like for 10 seconds. I ain't even get one word.
Oh, I said people make decisions with their hearts in
Well,
things like this
that's
most
why
times.
half the people, or the majority of them, end up divorced.
Yeah.
And the other half end up single again after having a breakup in a relationship because they can't keep a man and a man can't keep a woman. You're making them, you said, we go back to this all the time. I can always drag it back to this. You said people make decisions with their hearts, right?
Yeah.
But you say you're a believer in God, you're a church-going girl, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, but if we go to Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9, God tells you to do the very opposite. He says the heart is treacherous. Who can know it? The very Bible that you say you believe in tells you not to ever listen to your heart. That is wicked.
True, but
Oh,
it's a
true, but
reflex.
go ahead. I love to hear that. But
It's a reflex.
it's a
You
reflex.
just don't. Yes, it's true. You just do it. I don't know.
So you could choose to say, hey, I know God say this, but I'm going to do the opposite of what he says, and it's going to go well for me. Being that it doesn't go well, you sit back and then say what?
Oh, funny enough, you don't actually think of it. God said I shouldn't do this in terms of things like this. It doesn't come to mind at all.
It doesn't what?
It doesn't come to your mind at all that God said don't think with your heart.
Well, that's why you're supposed to be reading the Bible. So it comes to mind every time you make a decision. But unfortunately, we who call ourselves believers don't ever study a single word in the Bible. We wait to hear it up at the church at a podium for somebody who call themselves a man of God, say this, that, and the other, and take verse here, verse there, verse there, verse there. But never really teaching us anything.
You
excuse
know,
me, I'm coming. I'll be back.
Hmm?
She said 1 minute. You know what she's trying to say is something very factual. It's a real thing. When you love someone, you do things without even thinking about it. You see why that's some of the reasons why people say that when you
Love
are
don't
in
happen overnight.
when you are in love, you do crazy things. About this background check is very, very important. It's very, very necessary though. But people change. People change, and then the person you might be investigating or be trying to check who he was back then, it's not the same person who he or she is today. That is why I'm saying that there are some things that you don't just do the background on that particular person. You do it on his fact.
Right, right. Okay, okay. Now tell me this. The same way you're talking, the same logic you're using, not everything, nothing is perfect. The same logic you're using is saying this person may change. If you come to find out that person was a child molester for most of his life, would you trust that to say, hey, maybe he changed and maybe he won't rape my kids?
No, no, I won't even risk that. I know.
Exactly. Exactly. Do you turn around and say, oh, wow, this man was married before, but he choked his wife out and strangled her to death, but he's changed? Would you risk your own life?
No, I'm not going to risk that. That's why I said it's very, very important. It's very you have to know who you're settling down with, even if you're not getting married or just a fling, just a relationship. You still have to know who that person is. But nowadays people lie a lot, and the only place you can find this kind of background checks is maybe like social media, which is full of BS. Excuse me.
No.
People
There are
lie.
companies, there are companies that you go to and run people background checks, arrest records, financial records, debt
Mm.
records, child support, domestic abuse. You get to see all of that. So you can't tell me that is just social media. All social media can do is you could take that person's picture and run it on a facial recognition to say, hey, you know what? I'm a girl, I'm dating this guy, and he seems right for me, but hold up. Let me go to social media and do a facial recognition and match his face up. Then you find out the guy got 10 other profiles on social media,
Right,
chatting it up with girls that he's doing the same thing to. You see
right.
how that
But
keeps you from a lot of harm?
I know, but you know also that you don't just get up and do this kind of stuff. They're not something that you just pick up your phone and do it. You have to hire someone. You have to pay someone.
No, I
And
just said facial recognition. That's a $5 app. You pay $5 for it and run everything across on the internet. Doesn't have anything to do with paying a single person. In the background check, you don't hire anybody. You pay your $3.99 online. You put the person's name in, date of birth, social or government ID or whatever it is, and it get ran. So I don't know what this. We're not living in the 90s.
what
We got to
app?
hire somebody to do this and a
What
detective.
what was the name of the app so that people will get to know it, and then it will be
It's
a
called
very
Google. It's called fucking Google.
Google
Google.
is Google don't give you everything 100%. Google gives you
Let me.
what
Okay.
you put out there.
Okay. Okay. Hey, background check. Oh wow. True Finder at official site. Run a background check. Hold up. Another one. Number one employee background check. Hold up. 4 best background check sites. Hold up. Number one background check company. Search criminal. Blah blah blah. It's called backgroundchecks.com. Let me keep scrolling down. There's a ton of them. They keep going on and on. www.fbi.gov. Background check. Hire right, background check. Look right, background check. Date right, background check. Investpedia, background check. I mean,
Okay, okay, okay. I got it now.
yeah.
I get
So again, it's called Google. It's called Google. So if you want to invest your time and your life in somebody, you're not willing to go as far as typing on Google, then you can't complain when something unseen comes about. You get me?
Yep.
But let's go beyond the Google and run it online. There's a background check called our visual background checks with our eyes. We can see what we see. If I see that there's this attractive lady that I like, then I talk to her, and I find out she has 5, 6, 7 relationships before me. There's one thing that's factual. All those relationships were failures. So it wasn't with one, it wasn't with two, but it was with 5, maybe 7. 7 relationships that are all failures. So my background check, my visual background check tells me what? That she has a history of failing relationships where she is not good at relationships. That's what that tells me. Because it's factual. It's not me, me thinking about it, or maybe it's a fact. She's never had one single valuable relationship in her life. And if she has 1, 2, 3, 4 kids, that tells me another thing. She's not a good decision maker because she didn't hold a man accountable to marry her first before she had a kid by him. So it shows her background check shows me that she can't make good decisions. And if you can't make good decisions, you can't be a wife. So now we're talking about visual background checks. Just like a man. When you see a man walking around that you're interested in, and this man, you're attracted to him, this, thing, the other, everything seems well with the guy, but he's never had a history of holding down a reputable job, a decent job. He's jumping from job to job to job to job. What did I tell you? This man, background check shows that he's not capable of being a provider for a family. A man who, the same man who has never had his own house, own apartment, own anything. His background shows that he's not capable to take care of himself without the help of others and being under other people's roof. So there's no way that he's going to be capable of taking care of me, and definitely not when we have kids. These are called background checks, whether it's on a laptop or whether it's through your very eyes. But you ladies don't look at it. Men today are looking at background checks. We're checking your paperwork. We're checking your paperwork on the computer. We're checking it by what we see. We're checking it with others. Oh, damn, let me talk to a friend. Oh, yeah, such and such this, such and such that. You know, when it comes to girls, your girlfriend love to be the first one to tell on y'all. Especially when there's a man that she's attracted to and got something going on for himself. She be the first one to tell all your dirt. So that's another background check that we got going for us. We use it all to our leverage. But you ladies, y'all don't know nothing about it because y'all too lazy to do it. Then y'all complain men ain't nothing. Men are dirt. Men are shitty. All men are bad. And yet, these men that you call bad that you've been in relationships with, you not done one background check on any of them. Go to a man's dad. He's a man. He's going to see his son with the best. Take a father, take his son, who's a not such a great son. That man is still going to want him, if ever possible, to have a good woman. So he'll lie to you when he see a good woman to beef his son up like he's something that he's not. That's not a true background check. Going to the mother is even worse. Y'all know that much. Y'all know that much. Going to a mother is even worse. Sometimes the mothers are worse than the children these days. The best thing to do is go to his friend who's already jealous of him. Sounds crazy, but if you think about it, it's logical. It makes sense. Go to the one friend that you feel is already jealous about him. That friend would throw out all the dirt. Make him feel like you might be a little into him. If there's enough bad about him that you tell. You got to learn how to work it. You got to learn how to maneuver around to get what you need in life. You got a lot of, I see I see a lot of, this is what I see today. I see trashy ass girls running around with trashy ass dudes. The dudes saying girls ain't nothing. The girls saying guys ain't nothing. None of them vet each other. Everybody base it off what I'm attracted to. Or this guy got swag, or she got a fat ass. They young. They don't know any better. But best believe, when men get in their 30s and 40s, those who are successful, they're vetting any and everybody that comes by their paths. Why do you think that a lot of girls say that, oh, men ain't nothing because I dealt with this man, I had this relationship, but all they want is sex and they go. It's not that they want sex and want to bounce and ghost you. They vetted you and they know who you are and they know what you're worth. So when we find out your worth, we say that she's good for nothing but sex. We're not going to tell you that. We're gonna buy for you. We're gonna treat you. We're gonna talk to you nicely, but we're gonna use you as much as we can. We're gonna get as much sex out of this young girl with a great body. We're gonna get as much as we can out of that. We're gonna put a lot of miles on that if we can. And after the mileage runs hit that 100,000 mark, because you know when your car hit 100,000 miles, you gotta sell that thing off because it's not worth much anymore. You gotta buy something new. That's how we think as men. But when we find something that we love or that we know that's suitable for us, we take it. Why do you think that the majority of girls or ladies, young women who are wife material are never on the market past the age of 25? No, look, I want you to think about exactly what I'm saying. Over the age of 25, you almost never see anybody who is true wife material. You know why? Because when men see that, they do everything they can to wipe that up while they're playing the field with everything else that they know ain't for them.
But women at 30 also get married, right?
To who?
What do you mean? What do you do? Are you trying to men above 25 don't ever get married?
To low class men?
Oh my goodness.
I'm asking you. To low class or high value men?
As long as
But
men,
I'm asking. I want an answer because I'm asking.
the but
yeah, to
To
both.
both.
yeah.
So high value men say, God damn, that 35-year-old is something scrumptious. Ooh, I gotta have me that 35-year-old. Because I don't want
He
that
doesn't like
20-year-old
that.
who ain't had no babies already, who ain't been through 10, 15, 20, 35 men. I don't want that. I need that 35-year-old who been ran through, who already got her issues with her, who already got that damage with her, got all them scars with her. I made all this money just so I can get that. Damn. Ooh, I can't wait to get my hands on that.
35 doesn't mean you have been with a lot of guys, though. That
What
doesn't justify
high
it.
value men do you know going out to seek for 35-year-old women?
Hmm?
What high value men do you know who go out seeking 35-year-old women
I don't
to
know.
marry? Not to have sex with and make a girlfriend, to marry.
I don't know.
Because it's not something that happens. I'm not talking
I
about,
think it still happens, though.
yes, if you're talking about something that happens 1% out of 100, 1 versus 99, yes, it happens. But do you want to focus on the 1% or you want to focus on the 99%?
Focus on people. One
Yeah,
is
that
a
means
number.
you already know the answer to it. You don't want an answer. See, y'all ladies don't like putting your other female counterparts in check. Let me tell you this. When you talk about 35-year-old women meeting or marrying high value men, 9 times out of 10, those girls are 9s and 10s. At the very least, 8s on a scale of 1 to 10. Women who are average at best, at 35, don't marry high value men. Y'all two know this. Y'all know this. but y'all won't tell your counterparts. Why is it that y'all keep withholding the truth from your own counterparts, your own women, your own sisters?
When you say high value, how do you define high value? What's your terms? Money?
No, I said middle to upper class to elite status. That's financially men who are leaders, men who are productive and respected within their society. You know that. I said that many times. Men who are respected, men who are leaders are respected. Men who are able to take care of families are very well respected. Men who make a certain income are respected. Not everybody who makes a high income are high value men. Only those who make that are leaders and able to lead and take care and provide for a family and are very productive in society. So if these men are doing all that, making all these accomplishments, why do they want an average looking 35-year-old? Be
Well,
honest.
isn't
Men,
it possible?
no. Successful men look at women as trophies. We look at their beauty. The beauty of a woman determines our value. Like it or not, when we choose a wife, other men look at us and they see our value not in only our finances and our leadership, but they see our value in the beauty of our wife.
So is it facial beauty or
Hmm?
Outside,
facially?
outside beauty
Yeah,
or inner beauty? Which one is it? Because
Is
yeah.
what?
physically so beautiful, but so damp and dirty inside them. So which one are you talking about?
Now I'm talking about beauty. We already know that high value men need a particular type of woman. We had videos on this. So I don't even see why it's necessary for us to go back to this because we had this discussion many times
No.
over in previous videos. The type of women that we deal with, the feminine, the fit, the cooperative. So we had this discussion. It's not nothing new. Someone try
We,
to throw like a monkey wrench in it.
we know, but there are some cases also that the woman is all women are beautiful. It depends on the guy. I
Yeah, it's true.
don't say anything. I've make a point. All women, but but men who go for typical qualities like her breast, her thighs, her butt. You know that is the same reason why women started doing this surgery kind of stuff. You men are you just not okay with
And
one.
they still not marriage material.
Yes,
All these women who go get surgeries are still not marriage material because nobody's marrying them. So they got to find themselves being porta potties with their mouth up in Dubai
exactly. Because men
because
with
nobody wants them. We know what we want. We know what we want. You guys know what we want. Your problem is a lot of y'all just don't want to give it to us. Y'all don't want to submit to what men want. And y'all want to change our minds. Y'all not going to change the minds of men ever. Men have been men since the beginning of time. And it's not going to change. Y'all guys are the ones trying to change our mind. We're not going to change our minds. We're going to remain
Okay,
this who we are since we came out of the womb of Eve. It's not going to
okay.
change. You could go get all the surgery in the
Wait,
world that you want. We don't
wait. I
care.
have
We'll have
something to
sex with you.
ask or say.
You have beta males who might date you, do whatever, but even if the beta males marry you, you still have no leadership. So then you're still miserable because you're looking at the girls out there who are like, damn, he's a strong ass man. I wish I had that. I got to tell my man what to do. I got to tell my man how to do everything. He's afraid of me. What type of woman respects a man who's afraid of him? Huh?
Okay. About the surgery, I think ladies do that because that's what men want. So how is it
Who told you
you
this?
don't know what they want?
What man
Hmm?
told you he wanted that?
you know, please
There
don't.
are
Have you? No,
men
no, 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 no. Let's
that
break it
do
down.
that.
Let's break it down. Have you ever heard a man say, ever in your life? I'm talking about the productive men. Have you, even the lower class men, have you ever heard one man say, hey, I would love if Women go get surgeries and implant and put fake stuff in their butt and their boobs and on their face.
No, wait. They
Exactly.
didn't say they
So
want
why do
surgery.
you think that's what men want when you never heard a man say that?
You want big butt. You want
Have a
Yes,
man
so
ever
she's going to
said,
get it.
go put some plastic in your booty so I can marry you? Have you ever heard that?
N- No, this is they don't put plastic anymore, so it's not plastic.
I don't care
it's
what it is.
not gonna
Have
do.
you ever heard a man say, hey, unless these women go get surgery, I'm not going to marry them? Have you ever heard that?
No, he's not gonna tell you that. All he's gonna
So,
be is sleeping around with women with big butt.
so now you're assuming. So now you're throwing
So
now
it's
you're deflecting. Now you have something internal within you that you deflect and put on men and say, men don't say this, but this is what they really want. Even though they never
no,
said it, but I can read
that's
their
what they
minds and I know
say.
that's what they want.
Can we
You see how
talk?
crazy that is?
Some men say this. Some men say
That
this.
y'all guys are talking some crazy, crazy ish right now. This is some crazy ish right now.
I
The
believe
fact that you can sit
Some
here and say
do.
that you admit that men never say these things. They never said it to
No,
you
they
or
say this
anybody
though.
else.
They say it, but indirectly. They say it indirectly. They don't say it like go
Indirectly.
get.
They write it on the
Yes.
wall.
Though this is something else, but you know you have to do this
Telekinesis.
look
Okay.
for example, someone never tells you that they like maybe rice, and I told you I like rice. But once I'm eating rice, you come and join me and eat rice. So each time I see you around, I know you're gonna eat rice. So rice is what I'm gonna cook. You don't just tell a lady go do plastic surgery, go look young, take a Botox, take away all your wrinkles and all that. You don't say that by your actions. Sometimes men
Yeah, true.
oh, look at her flat butt. They make
Let me,
fun of
Yeah.
I'm gonna use the same
Yes,
logic.
true. So
I'm gonna
some
use the
get
same logic.
insulted.
You know, a woman loves 7 foot men. Every time a 7 foot man come around, she looking at him. She can't stop looking at him. But her man is only 6 foot. Does that mean that she want her man to go cut his kneecaps off and put six of foot worth of sticks inside of his kneecaps in order that he could
That
walk
that
7 foot
is
tall?
that is different.
No, it's not different. It's not different.
It's different.
You're saying something that you admire versus something that you need. You know what? I'm a man, just like all men in the world. I admire different types of beauty. I don't need them all. I'm not going to have them all. I admire different types of beauty, but I love what I already have. So why
Okay.
can't it just be that?
So
Because this is what men are saying.
look
But
at
even though
say
men are saying this, you say, hey, we don't believe you because we feel so insecure that we have to believe that you mean that very opposite of what you're saying. This is how women operate. Guys, I'm not even talking to y'all. Fellas, look at this. This is how all women operate. You tell them one thing, their own insecurity will tell them the very opposite of what it is that you're saying to them. And you have to deal with this shit.
because you don't speak plain English, you don't put it straight. You say something like this in some
I
kind
just said
of
it
way,
straight.
and you
How many
still
times do a
have to
man say
figure it
to a
out.
girl, hey, baby, I love your body. I love you. You look beautiful to me. And she like, oh, nah, you like them fat asses. You like them big ass titties. You like a little gap in that
Though,
thing. You like girls to wear this. You like girls to wear that. I'm like, babe, well, I'm telling you. But you saying that we don't say clearly and direct. We're telling you clearly, but you don't want to believe it.
it's
If
not
you, the
all,
problem
not
is this,
all.
you don't want to believe men because you don't believe men are believable for whatever reason.
of course
You don't want to believe because of
act
the other half you've met.
their actions. They're gonna say one thing, but behind you they're doing something else. So
Other half of who? Other half of men? You met
you know what we're
women?
trying to a man is gonna say, oh, my wife is pretty, my girlfriend is beautiful, I like the way she is. But the next moment she's not there or she just turned her back, you
Over
do
his friends.
something else and your whole eyes, your whole body is speaking. That's what we're trying to say. Don't just get up and tell your wife or
It's
uh,
called it's called it's called having a sex drive. Unless you want your man to be limp dick, then you should appreciate that. You're saying that,
So
hey,
your
even though my
wife.
man might see this attractive, I don't want him to ever feel a rush of this, that, and the other. I want him to remain soft all the time And the one time he with me, then he get up. First of all, that's unrealistic.
Should
We
that
really
Very
thought about
unrealistic.
that.
should
No,
that
it's very unrealistic.
should that apply to women too?
Huh?
Should that what
Y'all
you
do
just
it anyway.
apply
Y'all
to
get
women?
hot and wet. Oh, y'all get hot and wet inside what y'all see off the TV, let alone what y'all see in person.
Okay.
But you know what? Men who are productive men, we don't care because we're content and we have confidence within ourselves that we could do what's necessary to keep our homes and our wives in order, keep the house in order, and keep our wives pleased. Whether it's up and down, just stand or straight away. It's y'all who are the problem. Y'all don't feel the confidence that we have. We're very confident in what we have because we know that there are many
Okay.
women out there chasing after our types because we're a rare breed. Successful, productive men
So,
are a rare breed in this world. Y'all all know it. So we're confident.
Women
It's y'all who have the lack of confidence. Y'all the ones who are insecure running around these days.
wait,
Got to go up and
if
get your butts bigger and get your titties
wait,
bigger and change your face.
if wait, if your wife or your lady is insecure, I think it's your fault. You're supposed to
No,
make her
I
feel
think it's her
confident.
nature. I think
yeah,
it's the
You're
nature of a
supposed to
woman.
boost it. You should know she's less confident before you start dating her. So you should be the one to help her come over
That
that
don't even make any
and be
sense.
confident.
but
It
That don't
does.
even make any sense.
that's
Because
it.
we already
It's
said that
supposed
as a husband, you tell your wife she's beautiful and you love this and that about her. But
Yeah.
you're saying that
yeah,
that's not
saying it
enough.
also boosts. It boosts. Yeah, that boosted. It depends when you say it, how you say it, like the time you say it
So
I
what you
to
want,
her.
you want to change a whole man genetic and DNA and say, hey, I want men to only be attracted to one individual, one person, one look, one hairstyle, one shape, one color, one everything. That's
am
No,
pretty
okay.
much what you're saying.
that you see what you just said? That is why women don't trust guys. Because when you think he's so perfect, that's why you can't even brag about your man in public. Because someone will be like, oh, look at her. She doesn't even know what he does behind it. It's you made it so not like yeah, any man can cheat. You can't even trust a pastor who is married anymore. Because it doesn't his religion doesn't stop him from cheating.
Well, let's
You
not get into that. That's a whole nother conversation. But
yeah, you guys just made it so normal and women are like, you know what?
oh, God's
Let
made what normal. God, no. I want you to be clear. God's what made what normal.
you don't let me land. Why don't you allow us to talk?
Because I don't know what you're saying. I want clarity.
There are men who stick to one woman. There are men who are very loyal to their woman. There are men like that.
Yeah,
But
sure.
We're not
majority
talking about
of
loyalty.
men, majority of men, even though they appreciate what they have at home, behind their wives, they still go out there and do what they want.
Yeah.
And they
You
And
like,
this
see how you
doesn't
just
stop
put
them
this?
from being attracted to
No,
other
no.
people
See,
too.
I'm not going to let you do this because this is what you did. We wasn't talking about loyalty. We were talking about attractiveness. That men are
Okay.
just like women are going to be attracted to different shapes, sizes, and looks, or whatever. So you took a man being attracted to just women in general to call him disloyal. That's ingenuine. What you're doing is
That
very ingenuine. It is not right. It's not.
okay, if you are talking about attractiveness, all right, I get it. Because we are human. We are human and
yeah, true.
do we call it sovereignty or yeah, because you always want something else. Even when you have everything, you still want something else. It's always something. So that's what makes us human. So if your man is attractive to someone else, I think it's normal. So you should also understand
Nobody
when
said anything about wanting somebody else. We talk about attraction. So you
Okay.
keep jumping from one thing to another. You're trying to make one simple thing that's genetically, that's by nature, and you keep trying to turn it into a negative against men. No,
you
it's like you dogging you can't fathom in any type way in your mind that men are genuinely good individuals.
you are so
Mhm.
different. Why are you
That's what you're doing. But the whole thing is about background. It's like let's stick to the subject. With a background, what do you look at a man? What type of background? What do you look for? What are the red flags? What tells you oh, you know what? This might be a keeper. Jenny, you first.
Me first, though. Oh, not me first. I'm not married.
So you don't have a clue what to look for.
Uh,
Because if you don't,
anger
you ain't never gonna be
issues.
married.
Anger issues. Not yet. Anger issues, I think. Anger issues. Mm-hmm. That's number one.
Say what?
Anger issues.
Anger.
Yeah, anger issues.
So if he's 4'5", 200 pounds, with no anger issues, you marry him.
If it's what?
4'5", 200 pounds, with no anger, would you marry him?
I don't know. I can't. I can't say anything for sure now. I have to see with
And
my eyes
genuine,
too.
and genuine, and genuine, and untruthful. See, this is what you get with modern day women. Even the ones who are so-called traditional wives or traditional razor-be wives, you get this ingenuineness with them. They can't tell the truth. Y'all can't tell the truth. Rookie, what do you look for in a man? If you were to advise people, what are the red flags and what are the things that are positive that you look for a man before you choose, or they should choose, whatever?
Um, my first hierarchy, like I have them in ranks. He should be responsible, very responsible. He should be able to take care of himself.
Who's responsible being able to go out and get his watchy tonight?
Responsible as in taking care of yourself, being able to provide. I see how you treat your family, the way you talk to your parents, especially. I love those kind of styles. A guy who is trying to take care of his siblings and his family. And secondly, first of all, you should know God. You should be God knowing. Have a spirit in you, so that is a little blocking you to do a whole lot of bad things. When you have the Holy Spirit in you, you should know God.
Yeah.
Be responsible. And then thirdly, not abusive. Verbally, emotionally, financially, don't even try. Don't be that
So how
kind
do
of
you know these things? How do you find it out? How do you find it out about a person?
background check.
What's your version? What's your version?
Yeah, I have to know who your ex is. Know who your ex is, and then find out how know you've gone far in your how long your relationship has lasted, how you treated them, and couple brains. I have to know those around you, how they see you, what they say about you before I do my own observations. Because some people lie
Mm,
about you because they don't want you guys to be together and all that. So you have
true.
all that, and then your own observation. At least date you for some couple, maybe a year or 6 months to a year to know who exactly you. I know you impossible to know someone 100%, but at least be able to find out some red flags. Say I do.
All right. With that said, you spent about 2.5 minutes saying that. Jennifer's background check was a split second. Anger. You see how the two mesh? You see why the two are in two different areas in life?
Yeah, because we are different people.
I'm I'm just pointing it out. No
Yeah,
judgment. I'm just pointing it out.
has her priorities. She has her preference. I have my preference. So if she said anger issue to mine, I said you shouldn't be violent. You shouldn't be financially, verbally, emotionally abusive. So if you don't have those anger issues in you, You're not gonna be emotionally abusive. You're not gonna be physically abusive and all those stuffs.
Well, that's not true. The one thing I will say, as you know, that I have clients that I deal with. I counsel marriage and single people. So there are people with anger issues who are never physically abusive. So you know, with me as a counselor, as a psychologist, I've dealt with my clients like this. So that one doesn't lead to the other. Remember, I used to always say, I used to say this long ago, even when I was younger. I would say the reason why I don't, I say the things that I say to people when I was in like relationships is because that was the way that I would carry my anger out because I didn't want to physically hit a woman. So my words would be my way of abusing because I didn't want to physically abuse. So not wanting to put my hands on a woman, the only other alternative that I felt that I had was to speak abusively. And that would
That's valid.
constitute as anger. Men are,
Mm.
a lot of men are like this. But fortunately, me researching, studying, growing, experience a lot of things, I've been able to grow up and move past a lot of immaturities about me. But the majority of men today are not very mature at all.
Mm.
So one thing none of y'all, either one of y'all guys said is if any of these things, well, I could say any because Jenny only had one thing. So everything else is a go for her, a set go. But
No.
like you, it's like sometimes you guys gotta look into getting counseling before people get counseling before they get married, premarital
True.
counseling. I believe that before people get in a serious relationship, they should get counseling because it helps you identify a lot of things that would not be said or learned so many years later. But you save yourself a lot of stress, a lot of pain, a lot of anger, anxiety, and you save yourself the loss of a lot of years in your life. So for those who are watching, this is what I say. If you find yourself wanting to be in a serious relationship with someone, I believe counseling should start then, not after y'all done halfway destroyed each other and trying to hang on to whatever's left.
Okay. I think that's better. That's good. So you know if the guy is serious or not.
Yes, I think it's better too. So, are we gonna are we gonna start inquiring for background checks? Like I said, my background checks remain the same. If she used profanity, I ghost her. User, ghost. She has babies, user, get ghost. Being honest, I'm telling you how men like myself think. If she come from a single parent home and her daddy ain't never been in her life, user, get ghost.
Did you
If
say you?
she's if she has a so-called degree and brags about it, user, get ghost. And she says that her value, she's high value because she earns six figures or more, user, get ghost.
You see?
Giving guys the best advice they could never get in life. You
That's
see,
a bad advice.
huh?
How
We
would
got
you
like 200 people
come
on here right now.
so why are
Half
you
of them,
telling them to use her?
Why on earth will you even say something like that? Use it.
because I don't believe in using people, but what I'm saying is this, because I'm realistic. I'm realistic that people are going to go out there and have sex with each other. Unmarried. It happens more than not. That's life that we live in. So instead of having these men attach themselves to these people permanently, I'm telling them not to. Don't ruin your life.
Mm.
It sounds bad, but it's better advice than telling people, hey, get with this person who you know is not qualified to be what you want and do your best to try to work it out and struggle with it. And 10 years later, you divorce and you're doing it all over again. It's better advice to not get linked up. with someone you already know doesn't have the proper qualifications to be what you need them to be. And not everybody, we don't live in a world that men are going to wait till they're 40 years old to not be a virgin. Because
Yeah,
last I
true.
checked, men don't decide whether a female is going to have sexual relations with them or not. The female decides that. So that responsibility is also on the female. Men don't decide that. You decide that. We decide whether we're going to marry you or not, whether we're going to keep you or not. You decide whether we're going to have sex with you or not. So the same thing with the females. If you feel that the man is not qualified, why are these females opening their legs to being baby mamas? Why are they making babies with 3, 4, 5, 6 different dudes?
Some of
Responsibilities
it
fall,
like
fall is
to.
on two parts, go two ways. Can't just be one way. Would you go out and make a baby with a man who ain't going to marry you? Well, I don't even want to know the answer to that. So I'm going to leave that alone.
It's rhetorical. Rhetorical
All right,
question.
guys. Any questions before we get out of here? Any more questions?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. But your theme for today is very great. It's very right and very. I think it's a very good advice. You really have to know someone's background. You have to know who they were at least a little bit before you settle down with them, so you won't be faced with some maybe challenges or something you weren't expecting at all. You should be prepared for all that. So
You know,
you're right.
people get involved with people, don't even know where the hell they work at. Don't even know their last name. Don't know their
Yeah,
mama name. Don't know their father name. Don't know anything. So when you get tied up in these relationships and they go haywire, you're to blame. Both people are to blame. If you're going to be serious about life and serious about moving on in life and having something productive in life, then you better put your best foot forward, meaning that you better put a lot of effort into vetting the person that you're going to give yourself to. Because if not, you're going to find yourself being used. And that's why I say use. Because people who don't vet people, they get used. When you vet somebody, say, hey, I need to know as much as possible about this human being as I possibly can so I can know their frame of thought, their mindset, and their history. Because history dictates one thing. It dictates the future.
all right.
Now, yes, you said earlier people change. For the majority of people, most people are very unlikely to change. That happens, but it's not the norm. So you don't want to base your future off what's not the norm. You get what I mean?
Yeah,
You're fortunate if you get it, but when you do that, you're throwing yourself into the lion's den.
yeah. You
And
really
God ain't always going to put that angel to shut the mouths of the lions up. Most people are just going to get ripped apart. Their hearts ripped apart. Their confidence ripped apart.
right, because they go in with every part of them. They're trying to make you
That's
work.
why I said the worst thing a person could do is use their hearts to determine who they want to be with. Because your heart doesn't allow you to see everything else. That's
Yeah,
why God gave us both a heart and a mind. The mind is supposed to do the background check and say, you know what? I need to vet this person. And if the mind says no, but the heart says yes, guess what? The mind is the protector over the heart. So the mind has to say that, you know what? Even though I know you feel this way, heart, I have to protect you from the harm that's liable to come. So we're going to move on and we're always going to find someone different. There's always going to be somebody else out there that you have to move away from that person,
yeah,
especially if you're doing it for the right circumstances. God will give you something special.
right, right. That's true.
So I'm a counselor for a reason, psychologist for a reason. I think I'm the best at what I do, and I feel like I'm the best for a reason. But this is what it is. And we're going to keep doing this, man. But one thing I wanted to say, being that I made a series as we came from the senator's office the other day, I made it very plain and serious that I do want to run for mayor, maybe after the next two elections. So we gotta do a little political stuff. I was thinking about doing another um Instagram account, but I'm like, nah, we're just gonna keep it here. So we're just gonna choose a particular day to do our spiritual encouragement. And we're gonna pick a day to do our political stuff, but we're gonna stay here. Because I'm gonna become mayor, regardless. But I won't say that as with arrogance. I would do with all of my power to become mayor as I set out to do. As I set out to become one of the most successful businessmen in all of West Africa, a successful husband, a successful father. So these things take effort. Take effort. So, but we're gonna keep doing this, man. We're gonna be here by the grace of God. We're here, and we're here by Him only. So listen, Jenny dropped off. We get her back on when we come back on the show next week. If you guys watching, make sure you follow here. Make sure you share this. Share this link with a friend, a family member, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever. And if you guys want advice, free advice, you can come here on the show. I'll be glad to do it. You can either come just request for a live, or you can set up an appointment by emailing me or contacting me through the message system, the message box here on Instagram. So, like I said, man, it's enjoyable to do this, to be here. We're building. We're almost at 7,000 followers in only 2 months. So we're at almost 7,000 followers in only 2 months. So let's get it there. We can't do it without you. And we're going to keep doing it because of you. So with that said, it was another good show, another good talk, great content. I love this. Man, I love life. Life is beautiful. So we're going to keep helping other people make their lives beautiful. All right, guys. Once again, this is Stephen D. Lyles. And right here on the screen is
Suzzy.
Suzzy. Suzzy who?
I don't sound like that.
So Stephen and Suzzy, once again, man, we out. We catch you next time. Just continue to look forward to when we're about to go live. I normally post something the same day to let you know we're going live. And that's how you keep on contact. But every Friday, no matter what, by the grace of God, we're going to continue to do our live every Friday. But other days, you got to just, you got to keep sneaking around the page here to figure it out. But every Friday, we're live at 8 p.m., 7 to 8 p.m.